Alright, starting off the Mana Traders event. Starting off with a tough one. First round, playing against Doom Switch, who will very likely be on some form of snow control deck. This seemed good against snow. It's kind of medium. It's double Reclaimer though, which is pretty cool. Would love to have like a library or something. That would make this hand a lot better. Alright, we got to untap, sweet. All right. That is really interesting, actually. They chose to not shuffle, but what we can do is we can. I think we waste them, and then we seen it for Arbor. They might force this. They didn't. Interesting. Get in there, Elf. There we go. Oh man, it's so early here. Had to wake up at 6:30, took a shower, and I didn't even have time to make breakfast or anything. I'm kind of asleep. Hey Jack. Did you end up qualifying for this? Hey, Hogaak. ¿Cómo va? Gracias. Needed 6 in a row and you didn't get it. Weak. Should have gotten like 11 in a row. Would have been a lot better. Okay, so my one is indeed playing snow. Just gonna get flagstones here. Gonna get plowed now, but then we get to Yasharn. Maybe they force it if they have a force. At this point, they assume they do have a force. Pig. This are playing 8 matches of Legacy Neo form. Wow. What a waste. Just like that, we're ahead on time. Crazy. That is a problem. That is a big problem. Is my opponent's deck all foiled out? I have a hand of 2 stupid Swords of Plowshares. God damn it. I guess it was a multi 5. We're definitely gonna get some clock equity though with this hand. My opponent's playing kind of slow. And this plows, like if they start going for Udo, they might take a long time. There was Supreme Court reclaiming list the 5-0 with 1 copy of Savage Summonings in the world. Are you talking modern or are you talking legacy? Modern. That's the instant, right? It says the next spell you cast this turn can't be countered or something. Hey guys, how's it going? Quicken for creatures, but better. But it doesn't draw a card. Quicken draws a card. Does this draw a card? So it's not better Quicken. That card is really good when you need your Titan to be a 7/7, you know. The only problem with a card like that is like you still get casted, so what's the point? It has the same problem as Veil of Summer. Like that card seems to me strictly worse than Veil of Summer. Like you can instant speed Titan, but it's not like your opponent is going to tap out on their turn, right? Can your creature cast it would be awful. Yeah. So that card is also pretty good if you really want Aethergast to be even better against you. Like if you're like this, I cannot beat this Aethergast card. Let's try to make it a little bit better and let's turn it into a 2-for-1. And then you can do that. I can't believe how early it is. I have never woken up this early for a Magic tournament before. I can tell you it is not great. It is not great. Just pay 8, opponent. You should pay 8 10 out of 10 times in this situation. Portuguese grinders versus Fran and Twitch chat, so good luck. Good morning and the best of luck in the last tournament. Thank you, Kenpochi, appreciate it. At least they're not ghosting. Well, maybe they are, I don't know. Ghosting on a really slow connection. Yeah, exactly. Meantime, I'm gonna pull up my Cyber God. I'm gonna see what's up. You get show and tell, Mr. Lee, that sucks. Are you playing in this event too? Wait, are you playing this deck or are you playing your version? Oh, he's streaming. Okay. I didn't know that Doom Switch streamed. That's cool. He's a very good player. Just in Cloud Post. That's an interesting draw. I think we get Ramen up here and we waste their Caracas. Like, we're gonna have to do this eventually, right? We're gonna have to do this eventually because we can't really afford for my opponent to be out there saving their Uro and shit, you know? It sets us back a little bit behind in terms of field. Worst case scenario would be my opponent finds a land and a plow and another land. If all of that were to happen, that would be bad. Doom Switch is quad queuing. That would explain why they're playing so slow. That would certainly explain why they're playing so slow. This is not the deck to quad queue with. I'll tell you that much. This is not the deck to quad queue. Like, look at how far ahead on clock we are. Yeah, here we just copy Flagstones because it's 2 triggers. Definitely swinging in here because if my opponent plays a Quaddle, we can just plow it. 2. Legacy challenge, PTQ this, and standard challenge. That is just so much. That is so much, it's crazy to me. Ghosting quite cute. That's okay. Yeah, I don't think that my opponent's ghosting. I was just saying that if they were ghosting, if, like I said, at least they're not ghosting. It's a zombie. Here we get Savannah. I think that if your plan is to quad Q, this is just a really poor deck choice. Like I know that he's a master of like control decks, but like you just cannot afford to do this. It's just not realistic. I mean, you see what's going on, right? We are 7 minutes ahead. Another Dead of Winter. He also has all the stops. He also has all the stops. Prime time. What was the best quad Q deck? I don't know, like Belcher. Something that wins or loses in the first turn of the game. It is not snow control, I'll tell you that much. We could also find a bunch of... Ooh, that's pretty good. Let me have that Uro real quick. Let me have that other Udo real quick. They use Student of Winters. I don't think they have a third copy. They might have Snapcaster though. I am willing to risk it though. Secret Temple Garden tech. I don't think the Temple Garden tech was ever secrets. It's just good, man. it just does exactly what I wanted to do. I want a card that I can get off Flagstones that has a different name than the other cards that I'm playing, and Temple Garden does that. Like, it's not pretty. It's not pretty to be playing Temple Garden Legacy. Doesn't look great, but it does exactly what I wanted to. They bounce a zombie. That has to be a good sign for me. That means they don't brainstorm. So we're just gonna bog them. Get into zombies in the process. We could also double field. We could also double field, but I think the point them is better. Can't stream my end because like everyone is sleeping. Yeah, I feel you. That's why I'm speaking so low. I think Doom Switch might have played themselves a little bit here with the quad Q thing. Wait, what do you mean that it's open deck lists? How can I see my opponent's deck list? Oh. Good to know. Good to know. Post board, we only have to worry about back to basics. So it's looking like we might win this game. And if Doom Switch is to win this game, it's going to take them at least 5 more minutes. Because we're at 23. We have more stuff in board than he does. They are out of sweepers because they used both of their Dead of Winter. So they're out of sweepers. They have a Jason 1. So if they minus to bounce one of these, they're done. Oko, I guess, would be their best draw. Yeah, this concession should have happened maybe like 3 or 4 minutes ago. Okay, so open up the Cyber Guide. 2 spirits. 1 apparition. 1 retreat. 1 arrest. Cut the plows. Cut the oof. How many models is somebody really beating the clock? That was game 1, Hatsuya. They had 3 Uros and we exiled all 3 of them. We exiled 2 with the Sky Engineers and 1 with the Betrugger Bog. Oko is probably a faster win condition than Uro though. In terms of winning quickly. And we somehow won with our amazing hand with double Swords with Plowshares against Snowko. Feels good, man. Not only that, but my opponent used 17 turns of their clock. Yeah, it seems like a tall order. I mean, it's Doom Switch, so if there's somebody that can pull it off. Quad queuing is just too much, though. Like, you just have diminishing returns. You get to a point where you just have diminishing returns. Like, you just cannot. You're just hurting your chances of winning by splitting your attention on so many different matches. And so at one point, you're giving up one of those events. Like, you're just giving it up because you just cannot win all 3. You cannot do reasonably well in all 3. So at that point, why are you... I don't what I'm trying to say is I don't think that you are really improving your chances of doing well in any one event. I think the double queuing is tough. Triple queuing is like as far as I would ever go. As far as I would think is reasonable. And quad queuing is just, I think you're just wasting your time on one of the events. Okay, so win condition at least until Apparition came out, now not so much. I mean, if you have Oko plus Force of Will for the Apparition, you're doing fine. One nice thing about this deck is that nobody has experience against it. So I have a tried and true plan against everybody, and nobody has a tried and true plan against me. So I have seen people do all sorts of stuff. Like I've seen people bring in Plague Engineer against me and shit like that, you know? People keep thinking it's very... Yeah, people really go towards comparing decks to decks that they already know, right? So they are trying to... They are constantly trying to, you know, slot this deck like another version of Furkle Loam, another version of Maverick, that kind of stuff. When in reality, it's just like it's its separate entity, like it's just a different deck. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. And the fact that that is the case, I feel like gives me a little bit of an edge. We might fight Reclaimer, so I'm going to once upon. Guess I did fight Reclaimer, huh? We have to watch out for... We have to watch out for... Stupid card. Back to basics. We don't have the answer though. I think it's better to Thalia here, because this basically forces my opponent to force, or it forces them to time walk themselves. Oh. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of a time walk. Well, that resolved. Am I copying Caracas here, or am I copying my opponent's Snow Forest? Because I want to play the Vesuva this turn. I think I can't afford to play the Vesuva, actually. No, I have to. I just have to. I mean, I can... But that takes me off white. Yeah, I'm just gonna copy my opponent's Snow Forest. My opponent's is foil, but mine isn't. So I ended up with the best of both worlds. Awesome. I do have double whites, Mr. Lee, but I wanted to play around. The reason to get this over is because there's the Verdant Catacombs. So I couldn't get a basic plains off of Verdant Catacombs. Bye-bye. I am the one with the library, not you. Also the one with the time, that's also true. Also true. We might have to operation this Ice Fang. I don't think so. Since I have it 2 minutes, do I think I didn't double queue? I could double queue if I wanted to, but I don't, because I want to do well in this event. Like, something has to give, right? Something has to give. Like, if you're gonna quad queue, something has to give. You either don't play the control deck even though you're the master, either you cut all of your upkeep stops. You know, something has to give, but you cannot have all of them. You cannot have all of them, because you're just hurting your own equity at that point. Yeah, they just figure out that there's no way they can win. And it makes sense, because there's no way they can win. So we're moving on to 1-0, getting a victory in the first game, first match. And let's see if we can keep this winning ball rolling. You know, I'm into this winning thing. I can probably keep being happy about this winning thing. So we can hopefully keep pushing. See you later. All right, folks. Time for round number 2, where we're getting paired against. Getting paired against an interesting one. This is Standstill. Hey DNT, welcome back for 20 months now. I get to play in the MTG right now, but when I do, I know where to find an up-to-date list for type. Oh, you got it, DNT. You know you got it. So this is already a multi 5, so I think we're gonna ship it. This is better. Skip this, bottom this, say go. You have no answer for my lands, right? The way they answer my lands is with moat. Yep, no wastelands. Not a good draw. Actually, if they stand still me here, that might be a problem. That is a terrible draw. Probably worst draw in the deck. They had Ponder and they didn't play it. What does that mean? Let's go Dryad. Now, unfortunately, I can't attack anymore because of the shark. We're gonna have to break this standstill, I think. Probably gonna get counterspelled here. No. Wow. That sucks. Maybe we should have just passed. Maybe we should have just passed. Jason Massacre, thank you for the follow. Bog doesn't really do anything. My opponent must have veto and they're trying to figure out whether they should counter this. It's possible they should. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know if they should save it up for. Just gonna go for this zombie route, I think. Could have gone Reclaimer there. My opponent just has a plow. They plow the Reclaimer. We're in terrible shape, so 6 mana Hardcast Typhoon. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. I'm gonna say as much. This seems like a control deck that could potentially be a lot more problematic for us. We really don't care too much about snow, but like this deck attacks on a different axis, which is a lot stronger against us. Pretty logical for them to have veto there. We know they have a force. Holy shit. Alright, so that probably means that we're just fucking dead, right? So they have force plus blue card in hand. Should have shut up a little bit earlier. Okay. This is probably what I want to do. Ooze is bad, right? There's no Snapcasters. Yeah, no creatures whatsoever. There's one Mystic Sanctuary. That's not enough for me to want to play. For me to want to play Scavengers, I don't think. Wear Terra Fluster, Path, Pyroblast, Rev. Pyroclasm. Pyroclasm. It's one you don't see every day. I think the pig's gonna go. Actually, I'm missing cards. That's right, I cut all of my reclaimers, all of my plows. Wasteland? Maybe Apparition? Mode? Kills the walkers. Yeah, I guess, I mean, it's not great, but I think it's the best option that we have. Let's try this again. Now with a better hand. This hand is interesting. I think I'm gonna keep it. Want to keep 7. This is probably gonna require a plow or something. Force. At least we got a 2-for-1 there. They have another standstill. That's so fucked up, man. It's just fucking impossible to get under that. It's so absurd. It's just 2 mana, draw a card. It's so insane. Fuck. God damn it. Literally just used my wasteland. Literally just used it. I don't think we're winning here. We need to hit a land drop. Needed to hit the land drop there. I think I'll take that trade actually. Back to basics. Narset. It's not looking good for our second match of the day. Not looking good for our second match. They could have forced and they didn't. So that probably means that they have a better answer for this. It does leave them with a 3/3 token, which is, it's not nothing. Particularly against a standstill deck, obviously. So they could plow and standstill here, that would be all sorts of trouble. plus Jace. Jace minus. Oof. Oh no, because then I exile the Jace, so yeah, that doesn't make sense. That's a good draw. That's a fine draw. Thank you for streaming and being understanding. I love your content and it always seems to calm me down and take my mind off things. It's been a rough week knowing that my dad was leaving today and that he just told everyone that he's... Oh, that's brutal. Even as an adult, it's still rough to hear that you're dead. Yeah, that sounds rough, Brian. Sorry to hear that. But happy to hear that, you know, at least I can do something to help out, you know? Hope things get better. But yeah, those kind of situations are always rough. That's awesome. I appreciate you hanging out and being a part of the community. Put a card on the bottom. So I think I'm going to try to force my opponent to use the Force of Will here. Because they only have the one counterspell, I think. Yep. So they need to force Pitch in Brainstorm. Okay, so we got rid of the Force. They only have the one Caracas too, I think. Yep. Opponents cantripping hard. I'm assuming they have an answer to this operation, so we're probably gonna get... They're probably gonna plow this. I think that probably the best card that we can draw is either Zenith or Raminab Excavator. No. Three mana for a Teferi. If I could double spell, I would have played a Spirit there, but we can't, so maybe they just have another Jace. That's why they give this one up. Also, this blanks my Force of Vigor, which sucks. They also chose Do Not Shuffle, which can't be a good sign for us. Shit. We might get Wrathed here. That's why I don't want to deploy either one of these, because they still have the Teferi. Yep, there's a Supreme Verdict. For token, I'll leave it in fear of it. Oh, it's so big, Such a big token. Yeah, this matchup honestly feels super rough for us. This matchup seems super rough for us. They're just fighting on such a different axis than the other control decks, right? Like, our deck is very good at managing Uro. Our deck is very good at managing Oko. Like, those are the kinds of things that this deck shines at. And then there's like Standstill and Teferi Time Traveler and like Shark Typhoon, right? Like those are cards that I'm not excited to see on the other side of the battlefield, you know. Have lost many games versus Super Bias because the Skyclave Jace play. I have not really. Yeah, like managing these kind of like big sharks is not something our deck is particularly that has a good time with, you know. In fact, the complete opposite. I always say that the card that we lose to the most out of Death and Taxes, for example, is specifically Fricker Wisp. And this is like 2 Flicker Wisps in one. Definitely not a good time for us. Guess we just gotta gain life here, which is the worst use of Knight of Autumn that I could think of. They have a counterspell. We're in tough shape. Like we're just in really tough shape. Stupid shark. Stupid and sexy shark. They also have 4 of this. Like this is such a big shark. Like it's such a huge shark. How am I supposed to be the 5/5 shark? Kind of interesting that they would plow there, that they would path there. So we're dead anyway, right? So I might as well just go down to 1 and allow myself to find an answer to Teferi. I don't think we have enough cards to win, honestly. Moat. There's not really anything that wins here, though. Just dead to sharks. Dead to sharks. Alright. GG's, Leofa. We got completely destroyed. And it wasn't even close. Yeah, this matchup looked super rough for us. My opponent's hands were very smooth too. Like they never stumble. Like I had the turn to Thalia, they just naturally had the turn to Caracas, so they basically just undid my play immediately. They slammed the Standstill on an empty board both games. Yeah, rough. I don't think there was anything they could have done differently, honestly. It just seems like we cannot really keep up with this kind of card advantage when it comes down as early as turn 2. And even if we could play a threat on turn 1, in this case we were on the play on turn 1. We were on the play and we played a 2-drop on turn 2, but like our opponent just answered it and then just like played a standstill, and it's just like, well, there you go. The only thing that could have potentially have helped us is if we had, like, we missed a super key land drop on turn 3 and 4, and then we were kind of stuck from there. So if we had had access to something like a ramming up excavator or something like that, maybe we would have had a shot. I still don't think so, though. Like, our opponent's deck is just very, very well equipped to deal with ours. Sharks. Alright, I will see you back for round number 3. Hello, welcome folks to round number 3. We're getting paired against Hogaak. This is an interesting hand, actually, because what this hand allows us to do is turn 1 Savannah, I guess. Yeah, I think I like it. So we're gonna go turn 1 Savannah, fetch for Dry Arbor. Turn 2 Wasteland Dem, Sylvan Library, and then on turn 3, actually Zenith for Reclaimer might be better than Library. We're gonna see how it works. How many bids to meet the family on Wednesday? Probably 0. You might be just meeting them just because. This is the moment of truth. If my opponent therapy's here and they name Winston Zenith. Bujikabog is our friend in this matchup, yeah. Bujikabog is pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, no Ghost to Reno. No Ghost to Reno. What did you miss, Meddling Mage? Not too much. We won round 1. We won round 1 beating Doom Switch. We lost round 2. Round 1 was against Snowko, by the way. And then round 2, we got paired against SharkStill, and we got completely clowned. It wasn't even close. I always play Black Mana in my lands deck, but when I do, it's because it's produced by Bog. Yeah, hell yeah. Gotta live that Bog life, you know? Gotta live that Bog life. We might be facing a Hogaak here, but it's not even that bad. Like, it's not great, but we can. Oh, okay, that's a problem. Don't do it. Fuck. We were fine. We were fine until my opponent just, out of 3 cards, they milled 2 Vengevines. Fuck, that's brutal. Best of the main rounds? Yeah, it's 8 rounds total. Yeah, thank you, Meddling Mage. Man, that is... Yikes. Big yikes. Like, we were perfectly fine, and my opponent just randomly milled 2 Vengevines out of 3 cards. Ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. That sucks. Yeah, there's not too much to think here. A little bit Zenith flooded here. We take 8 now, we're just dead. There's nothing we can do. Wow, I was not expecting to lose that game. My opponent needed to have exactly the nuts in order to win there. And they did. Let's go find Hogaak. 1 Knuckle. 1 Path. 3 Macabre. Thalia. 1 Library. Trucker. Knight of Autumn. That's crazy. That's completely crazy. Like if instead of having Stitcher Supplier, if they had like something like a crab or something, even Careful Study, we win that game easily. Even with the Stitcher Supplier, if they mill something that is not relevant, if they mill anything that's not the Vengevines, 1 Vengevine maybe we could have been able to manage, but 2 Vengevine was just too much. 2 Vengevine was just too much. That's wild. That is so wild. I mean, that's what the Hogaak deck does, right? Okay. Sure. 100% keeping this. Not even close. We even have an Knuckle, so this time around we can beat if my opponent has the nuts. The only bad thing about this hand is that we have the Vesuva. The Vesuva is... it's a little bit awkward. You, Stitcher Supplier. You. So they have a Decay and they have Decay and Decay and ooh, they mill Divine. Decay and Trophy. So our best draw here would be either a Flagstones or a Fairy Macabre. That's interesting. Do I want to bog right here? I think I don't want to bog just yet. They're gonna get a blood gassed. They also get a couple. I actually kind of want to bog. Yeah, I think I'm in a bog right now. That was enough business for me to be a little bit worried about, you know? Worst case scenario here is they play the thingy, the artifact. Another supplier. Cabal therapy. Okay, they have to name Zenith here. Oh, they therapy themselves. Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that. So they don't know about Ramina. So now we're just gonna get to exile the Gravecaller? Because like we just play Vesuva copy log. All they got is a 2/2 zombie. Yeah, that does not strike me as the best deal. I think we're fine here. This game's looking pretty good. They have to name Zenith because this finds Scavenging Ooze. It's pretty straightforward. Yep. Can boy somewhere reclaim press. Yeah, this is definitely a combo. That's why Raminap is still in the deck, right? Raminap is not in the deck because I'm planning to wasteland my opponent, right? It's because Reclaimer sacks the bog and the Raminap gets it back. Are there... Oh, never mind. This is easy. Yeah, this is easy. That's right. This card is busted. Oh, almost forgot there for a second. My bad, chat. My bad. Almost forgot there for a second. Boom. Take 3. We got them on the soft lock. Try it ever. We got them on the soft lock. That's funny. Yeah. We're done here. Submit again. Game 3. Would be nice to see some of the more furry macabres. Turn 2 Scavenging News. Turn 2 Scavenging News. With my opponent keeping 7. Eesh. We do have a path. We do have a path to exile. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is... could be worse. Could be worse. Hogaak Vine. See how many basics they have real quick. 1 swamp. That's it. I think I waste them here. Wasting was the play. Wasting was the play. Wasting was indeed the play. Your go. So they have 1 turn to explode. Like they have to completely take over the game right now on this very turn off of 1 single land. Like they have to completely blow the game open right now. Otherwise, this is just game. House with the raid. Welcome everybody. What were you streaming today? What were you up to over there? Hedron Crab. So oh, did you try to play the challenge and then do poorly? So we have a couple of options here. I feel like this is how my opponent get. No. They've been missing land drops so much though. I think I'm just supposed to leave up, just hold up open green mana. And just like scoos. Scoos all the way. The only way I lose is if my opponent top decks exactly. They have this turn to top deck exactly a green source. Alright, they top deck the green source, and now they need to have exactly Abrupt Decay. Oh, you're still playing out, but just not streaming anymore? You gotta fix that sleep scaler, man. You gotta fix that slip schedule. That's just not okay. Gravecrawler. Definitely important to eat the second Gravecrawler there, otherwise my opponent, as soon as this resolves, they get priority to play the Hogaak. But right now they don't have 2 black or green creatures, so they can't gack me. Well, so I think we eat the Hogaak here in the hopes that they don't have another one. The good thing is that if they do have another one, we don't care that much because we just path it. So it's not that big of a deal. They do have another Gak. They do have another Gak. So I think this is the turn where we play Dryad. We path first, so they get their swamp. They do their crap. crap. And then we play a land, Dryad, and Bogum. I don't think I'm losing with damage, so I'm gonna swing with this Scavenging Ooze. Good. Get gacked. Get gacked. 2-on-1. Back on the winning train, baby. So I think... Let's slow down for a second here. So I think it might have been a little bit greedy to go for this line, but what this line does is it locks the game up, right? I'm giving my opponent a 1-turn window with 3 cards in hand. I'm giving them a 1-turn window to like straight up kill me. So this backfires if my opponent does, they go exactly like alter into dead, right? Into deck me. That's the only way that this backfires. And they are down 2 Hogaaks at this point, and down 1 bridge and 2 Vengevines. So even doing that is not going to be trivial. But I do think that this was an early concession, though. I think that my opponent still had potential draws that would have maybe gotten them into the game. Yeah, I think that they had exactly that one out. They have to alter into the nuts. But if they alter into the nuts, I think that it's possible that Scavenging Ooze with only 3 mana doesn't really help me get there anyway. So it's interesting. Maybe this was a little bit greedy, and maybe what I should have done is I should have just let the Hogaak survive for a turn, because like the damage doesn't really matter, right? Like the damage just doesn't do anything. So maybe it would have been better for me to let the Gak survive for a turn and just like bog them, and then hold up 2 green mana for Scavenging Ooze and not attack, so my opponent doesn't have attacks with the Gravecrawlers.
and then wait for the Dryad until next turn so that I can do the same thing but with extra green mana. So maybe that was better. Maybe. I'm definitely not sure. And it could go either way. Anyway, we got kicked out of the match. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you for round number 4. All right, after a little bit of a misstep there, we do get paired against my opponent. And we managed to fix it. We just started the match. Should I let you know about their result? Will it be updated automatically? Yeah, we had an issue where I was just given a game loss for no reason. We're playing against Snowko, by the way. This is an easy mulligan. I think I'm going to keep this. I'm going to bottom this SVP. And I think I want to Zenith on one. This means that we don't have a Reclaimer, but it's pretty likely that this gets killed anyway, so... If we are given the option... Okay, it doesn't get killed. So we're just going to Dryad into Bog. Or we can do that, I guess. This looks better. All right, sweet, sweet, sweet. We're in it. We're in it. Doing the thing, and we're just gonna move this thing over here to the side. So maybe they will fix it. Okay, they plow the guy. One, two, three, Dryad. Boom, getting there. Let's go. So what we're going to be able to do here is we're going to be able to get ahead. Oh, they just blind flip the Terminus. Feels bad, man. Do I want to get the Dryad Arrow back into play? I feel like I kind of do. Cool. Udo. Why Temple Garden? Because of Field of the Dead. And before you laugh about it, let me tell you that it does come up a lot. Swords to Plowshares on top. They don't have the cantrip. So they're probably going to plow the Raminap, which kind of sucks a little bit, but at the same time it doesn't really do too much. Would have loved to have found the Wasteland. At least we do have Caracas though. That is an Oko. That is a Sylvan library. Force Pichin Udo. All right, so we're one Titan away from winning. We're one Primeval Titan away from winning. Zenith is also a pretty good draw. Reclaimer is not, unfortunately. Oh, they might have Hardcast 4s here. Oh, that's nice. Yep, this is better than... I was considering getting Scavenging Ooze there, but my opponent is suspiciously holding up to 5 mana, so... They could have gotten back Uro, but instead they held up 5 mana. A little bit suspicious. Like, I know that I have Caracas, but like they have literally no answer to it, so... No need to deploy this Dryad. To answer your question, as we live in society, there was disruption in the initial matching that led to a Swedish game. Wow. That's so elaborate, Jason. That's awesome. Hardcast Typhoon. That is a problem. Unless we draw exactly Primeval Titan. Okay, they have no counter magic. If I plow this, it doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. It's gonna pass. So this was an answer to the Hardcast Typhoon. This is the one-off Shark Typhoon, by the way, which is funny that my opponent just found it. They Elk the Dryad, which doesn't do anything as far as triggering Valakut is concerned. Main deck Carpet of Flowers. That's a lot of mana. That is a lot of mana. That is hilarious. That is truly a delight. That is truly a delight. That is truly a delight. My opponent's gonna have access to 7 mana of any one color. That's too funny. That is too funny. That is too funny. Reclaimer. So I think I'm happy to trade this. Yeah, layers are weird. So we're gonna play an Elk now, because this card is nice and fair. So no Carpet gives them no mana. I think if I plow the Shark, I think this works. Let's experiment right here. Bingo. So now they need to do something else now. Timely Source to Plowshares. Very timely Source of Plowshares. My opponent is just wasting another Oko because they know that if I untap with Reclaimer, the game is basically over, so... So if I attack with everything... Attack with everything, they block and block. Oko takes 4. And we trade with the food. Huh. They're not gonna take my Dread Arbor, which is interesting. Again, we are one Green Sun Zenith or Primeval Titan away from just winning this game straight up, so... Not that concerned at this time. I'm a little bit more concerned now, I'll tell you that much. I am a little bit more concerned right now. They immediately bless. And they leave the card on top. Yeah, this is not looking good now. We can wasteland ourselves if we really have to. I guess I don't want to yield to Oko's trigger. Left the card on top. Okay, so I have to assume that whatever they have, whatever they left on top is bad. So I'm just gonna wasteland myself. Get in a plains. Shuffle. And we have one draw step. Doesn't quite do it. Doesn't quite do it. We still don't have good attacks. I literally said yield till end step, right? Didn't I? Yield until next end step. Yes, I did. The opponent has, I think they have one back to basics in the sideboard, but I'm actually not sure. Wow. Why are they plussing when I have a fetch land? Alright, so the auto yield thing doesn't work, so we're not gonna be auto yielding, I guess. Thanks, MTGO. So we attack with everything. They block, 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 block. Jace takes 5. I mean, it sucks that we have to do this, but it feels like we kind of have to because of that, exactly. Classic Terminus. On the plus side, Knight of Autumn is back in our deck now, so... Knight of Autumn is back in our deck, so we can
we can actually have an answer to this Shark Typhoon. They're not bringing in Carpet. This was main deck. This was main deck. Yeah, I really doubt my opponent would be bringing in Carpet against us. Seems pretty awful. I would also like to know how many Sanctuaries they have. I assume they have only the one, but I could be wrong there. Just gonna get back Udo. Seems fine. It's like effectively draw a card, right? Put a card on top, so I assume that they just have that we're gonna be drawing a blank. I mean, that is a blank. We can't attack, so we're just gonna lose to J Salt. I mean, for the longest time, we had access to... For the longest time, we had access to a potential out, which was... just drawing a Titan or a Green Sun Zenith. We just drew a bunch of blanks instead, which feels bad. Force of Negation, Counterspell. No, my cards. All right. Playing against Snow once again. Two Spirit, one Apparition, one Adasta, and one Retreat. Got 4 swords, 1 oof. Boom. Easy sideboarding. Easy sideboarding. Losing in 1, it happens. It happens. I still think this is a favorable matchup for us, so... Move to 6. Keep this one. And I guess I'm gonna bottom Vesuva? Yeah. Yeah, we were able to solve the problem. We just have to let the organizer know what the record is after we're done with the match. But to get plowed here. At least I shouldn't have shown the wasteland there. Oh man. Oh man.
force between Ice Fang my Scavengers. So that probably means that my opponent doesn't have too many lands. So that Wasteland must have hurt. They chose to not shuffle, so they definitely found land. Bingo. Spirit. Feels bad, man. Definitely playing out the library here. If my opponent wants to counter it, that's nice. I mean, that's I guess it's not nice, but this means that both the Spirit... I guess I should have played that first. Yeah, that was a mistake in sequencing on my part. I fucked up the sequencing a little bit there. No white mana. There's the snake. Man, I'm so good at playing around Ice Fang Quaddle. What we should have done, by the way, was to play we should have just played the library first before we attacked. Like, I basically missed out on 3 points of damage because my opponent... Oh, no. Just 1 blue mana, scry 3. They chose to not shuffle, so I have to assume that they found something good there. Then we're gonna waste their green source. We're gonna Aberration the Ice Fang. And I have no fear now. So that's the card that they topped, 100%. So they don't have Ice Fang. So I can attack now. Did I just get baited? No, it's just a plow. I guess I did get baited. This is fine though. We save this apparition for my opponent's library that they're going to play out now. Maybe that was a bad attack, actually. Yeah, that was a bad attack. Real bad attack. They don't have double green, though. We can't cast this Primetime unless we draw another land. I think I'm gonna get Field. They're missing a green source. Trading Terminus for a Dryad Arbor. Not bad. Super punished. Now we don't have an answer to a Udo if my opponent gets it back. Oof. I mean, I guess we might as well attack here, right? there's no reason not to, because if they have the removal, like they just have the removal, so it's kind of whatever. Yeah, so like they just use the removal on an apparition to get a 3/3. I'm probably okay with that. Okay, that is a problem though. That means Udo. So we have to draw something now. We have to draw something. We haven't shuffled since we Once Upon a Timed. We haven't shuffled since we Once Upon, so that means that the prime time is in the bottom of our deck. But it's better because if we draw any land. Okay. I know that I'm not gonna be able to sack this. I know that I'm not gonna be able to sack that, but I think that's fine because the pig itself just gets me the lands that I need. They can't sack food, that's also true. So I think we're taking this hit, I guess. Yeah, we're taking this hit. Maybe the attack with the spirit was just a little bit too greedy. That is the thing that I could have changed. That would have probably worked out well for me. Aha, so that means that I can do this now. We want to get Arbor, we attack. No, we don't need to get Arbor, I guess. So we just attack them with Pig, and all of these cards attack Oko. This is bad if they have a Palau. And they attack with Oko. Yeah, that's actually terrible. So we actually have to attack with everything at Oko to play around Swords to Plowshares. They're going to get a free block on the zombie. But Oko is indeed down. They force Reclaimer. Pitching Jace. Jeez. Alright. Aspiring Spike with a tier 1 sub. Coming back for 8 months, Spike. Thank you so much for the continued support, my man. +1 land. Yeah, we need more lands in this deck, man. Lands would be such great draws right here. Taking it down to 8. Hit me. So we attack with everything. They block here. They take 11. Found another Oko. Brutal. That is just brutal. Counterspell. Brutal. Damn! Well, we can't attack with all because we just die on the swing back. We're just in tough shape. How is the challenge going, Spike? How are you doing over there? They have 2 sanctuaries. F. Well, if we could actually see their deck list, we would have known that. That sucks. They got with a backup on there though, so it's not the end of the world. There's literally no use in trying to trade with this world, they just get it back, so. Oko, you're such a silly card. Such a silly card. Force. Yep, hardcast force. That's a good force, by the way. Is my opponent gonna get aggro here? They are getting aggro. I mean, we just have to draw a prime time. It's probably our only out at this point. Does this block do anything? They have 3 cards in hand. We cannot be the Force of Will. Yeah, I guess that fetch land is also not the worst. Did I consider? Yeah, I mean, what I got was the field, right? At that point, I had 6 lands in play, and Field of the Dead made sense. Fuck. We game 4, up to 9. We lose to removal. Yeah, my opponent has turned the corner. We can still draw exactly Primeval Titan or Zenith, and for my opponent to not have a force. They have used 1, 2 Caracas. That means that I survive. And they made a mistake there, by the way. They made a pretty big mistake there because they should have made a food. Because now I don't lose to second. We have to bounce the Uro here. But if they had top deck a second Oko, they actually would have had lethal. I mean, out of all the cards that don't just win the game, Caracas was one of those that allows us to not just lose. So it's not the end, it's not the worst. Okay. Chase plus, keeping the card on top. Sad face. Terminus? Huh. That is interesting. I mean, we are still in a situation. My opponent used both of their Terminus. I guess that they might have Force in hand, so that's why they're being so aggressive with their Jace Blessing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Please don't have it. Okay, they did have it. All right. GG's opponent. GG's. Well played. I really fucked up this game. I think that if we had held on to the Spirit, if I had not attacked on that turn, I got a little bit frisky. If I had not attacked with the Spirit of the Labyrinth, my opponent is forced to use... They don't get the 2-for-1 basically. And... yeah, I guess they wouldn't have really changed anything, right? They just plow the Spirit of the Labyrinth and then we go on to lose that game anyway. So I guess it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, both games kind of like the same thing happened, right? We just ran out of cards. We mulliganed. We were met with some pretty not great draws, so we just mulliganed a little bit too harshly. I have to check what the prices are, but if the prices are reasonable for top 16, I would continue playing. If they are not, I'm just gonna call it a day. So if you see more videos, it's because the prices are reasonable, and I will be playing more. All right, 2-2. Maybe see you for the next one? Question mark. Like and subscribe. Don't forget about that though. Turns out there are prices for top 16, so we're gonna keep on playing. We're getting paired against Band Miracles. 3 Yoko, 1 3 Fairy, 2 Jace, 1 Snappy, 3 Snap, 2 Udo. How do we feel about this opener, chat? I think I'm gonna keep it actually. How much counter magic are we talking about? We're talking about 3 Force of Negation, 4 Force of Will, 1 Shark Typhoon, triple Terminus, 1 Library. No Mystic, 2 Mystic Sanctuaries. It's a lot of Mystic Sanctuaries actually. Third Once Upon a Time, alright. Sure. Could have gotten Field there. I could have gotten Knight of Autumn there as the only business spell, but I kind of don't want to shuffle. Probably a Wasteland here though. Like my opponent would not play a Tundra if they had any other options, I don't think. That's a good one. And again, I bottomed a bunch of blanks, so I think I'm gonna go with this here. We're probably gonna get plowed. Four plow is the only removal. No decays, nothing like that. It's just banned. Just straight up banned. Wow. Do we get to untap with Reclaimer? There's no way we get to untap with Reclaimer. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's about to say opponent. What you doing over there? Collector, oof, apparition. Oof actually sounds pretty insane here. It's randomly great. They might have to force this. Because he just completely destroys their mana, which is hilarious. Yep, that just happened. That just happened. Force pitching force. Insane. Let's find Savannah and let's Zenith for Reclaimer. Alright, opponent. Gotta answer this guy. Otherwise, you're gonna get rolled over. Good attack, good attack. I think we take this turn off. Cause I don't really want to get got by... Because we could Tracker plus Reclaimer, right? This leaves me up a land. I think actually that's better. And then we can Once Upon a Time afterwards. Yeah. This plays into Plow, but if my opponent had Plow, like they would have already played it, right? There's no way I get to untap with Reclaimer if my opponent has Plow. So that's their only Shark Typhoon. That's it. That's the only one they have. So let's make sure we draw some cards here, shall we? Gonna do all of this while my opponent's tapped out. So now we have 4 clues in the tank. So even if my opponent Terminus, we're still ahead on cards. Obviously, them being stuck on mana was the story of this game, right? No arguments there. That Wasteland ended up being incredibly strong. Are they just gonna plow the Reclaimer? They plow the Tracker. Interesting choice. Ha. Opponent pucks it in. Okay. Same sideboarding. We're gonna take a look at that at their sideboard real quick. Two Carpet of Flowers, 2 Pyroblast, 2 Reb, 1 Veil of Summer, 2 Canonist, 2 Rip, 2 Wilt, 1 Staticaster, 1 Narset. I feel like I'm okay against all of those cards. Triple Terminus. Yeah, we're good here. Submit. Won this. Not just mulligan Splinter Twin dot hand. Especially when my opponent has 4 answers to Reclaimer. Like, that's it. They have 4 Swords to Plowshares. And I guess they're 3 Terminus, but like they need to either set that up or get pretty lucky. But they only have exactly 4 answers to Elvish Reclaimer. That's it. So as long as we draw lands, we should be in fine shape. And if Reclaimer doesn't get answered, even if we don't draw lands, we would be in fine shape. They chose to not shuffle with the Ponder though. Chose to not shuffle. So they drew all 3 cards from the Ponder, and we get to untap with Reclaimer. We could Thalia here, but I think playing Reclaimer is just doing the Reclaimer thing is just better. It allows me to Arasta next turn. They can Oko though, which is a problem obviously, but okay, no Oko is great for us. No second land, also great for us. My opponent should exclamation point Fran, I think. This is not a good time to do this. Because now if I want to, I can just not get a Flagstones. I can get something like a field here. Or I can get something like a wasteland. I think I like that. Yep. Let's play this game again. Options here. We can Knight of Autumn the Astrolabe. I think I'm just going to... Oh no, because they can force. Sure. I think we're not going to have to worry about... So this means Terminus also not an out. Well, we double the clock. That's probably game. And this is also a 2-turn clock. They probably have to force this one. Yep. Not surprised to see them forcing here. It's not like they're using their cards anyway, right? Hog. I feel like I want to play Arasta because that blanks fetch lands. I'm gonna force again. That's fine. My opponent's already losing to the board, and this Thalia is just completely warped the game. If they had 4 forces, they have to have been their draw steps, right? Because they knew about this. Like, I played the Thalia and the Wasteland was already in play when I played the Thalia, so... Alright, we got there. Alright, 3 and 2. 3 and 2. Hopefully we can rally back. If we make it all the way to 6 and 2, we might be live from top 16, which apparently is $100, so we're gonna keep on playing. See you later, folks. Alright, welcome to round number 6. We're playing against Andrea Piegonti on Oops All Spells. This is an instant mulligan because we need the Bojuka Bog to be in the deck for it to do anything, so we're gonna ship it. And we basically have to draw... we basically have to mulligan to turn 1 Reclaimer. And he kept 6. He kept 7, so I think that we're dead regardless. Close, very close. Down to 3. Alright, keep this. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Done. Once upon a time. Windswept Heath. Reclaimer. Go! I imagine we're dead, because that's how the Oops All Spells deck works. Yep. This is not going to be the sexiest kind of magic, right? It's just not going to be the sexiest kind of magic, and we know their list. So I am just looking at the cards for the purpose of the YouTube video. So basically, the win condition for those of you that don't know is they mill their entire deck just like the modern version, right? Mill their entire deck, and they get all 4 Narcomoebas, and the win condition here in Legacy is to use a banned card in Modern, which is Dread Return. So they sacrifice 3 creatures. They Dread Return the Thassa Circle, and that's just how they win. So the win condition is a lot cleaner, which is nice. But yeah, obviously bad for us. Silence is actually good. Yes, definitely silence is actually good. It means that they deck, right? It means that they actually just deck. So we're playing against Combo. We're playing against Oops All Spells. So 3 silence. Spirit doesn't do anything, so we're not going to be bringing it against this version of the deck. 3 Fairy Macabre. And this doesn't do anything. This is better than Field of the Dead. Cut all the plows. Okay, Tracker. I guess that, oh yeah, that's the reason why I do this. I think it's because Spirit of Labyrinth just attacks and blocks. Is that what we're doing here? Let me check out Andrea's list. Three Nature's Claim, 4 Santic Swarm, 2 Fairy Macabre, 4 Force of Vigor, 2 Chancellor is their sideboard. Yeah. Okay. All right. To one of the drop-ins. I mean, that's what the deck does. Like, the deck turn once. Like, it mulligans to a turn 1 kill, and it hopes that it's good enough. He does have 4s. And we have the Bog in the opener, so I think I'm going to ship this. And I'm also gonna ship this because this doesn't do anything. So if we go past 5, we're probably just mulliganing towards we just mulligan into Fairy Macabre at that point, I think. And we can't beat Cabal Therapy into the combo. Down to 3. Down to 2. Down to 1. Keep. Done. Go. So we're conceding to Cabal Therapy, but we're just gonna get beaten down by a wallet counter. All right. I mean, if we draw a Reclaimer here, or a Zenith or something like that, we might be onto something. $20 turn clock. Let's go. Okay. Reclaimer or Zenith are insane here. Reclaimer or Zenith are just absolutely insane. He's gonna name Fairy Macabre, like there's no way around it. It's so tilting that I have to mulligan to 1 to get my one of my 3 cards. And my opponent just keeps a 7 that has the card that beats my card. Like that, this is just super irritating. Like they kept a turn 3 kill with the interactive spell. Like, frustrating. Anyway, GG's, Andrea. That's it though. I'm not gonna keep playing. Like I'm dead for prices, but like top 64, it's like it's just, I don't know. That was also a pretty irritating loss, honestly. I'm really bothered by what just happened. So I'm just gonna probably call it right now. I'm just gonna go do something else with my day instead. But we won 3-3. Unfortunately, this is as far as we're gonna make it. Thoughts about the deck. We're going to... I think I really like my list. I think I really like my list. And my losses were, well, I mean, we just got turned against Soup Soul spells. Like, we got killed on turn 1 because my opponent kept 7, and then we had to mulligan to 1, and we almost got there. I feel like if we had drawn land into Reclaimer into land, I think that we were actually a favorite to win. My opponent still killed me before that would have mattered, but still. If we had mulled to 2, I think that we might have been a favorite, particularly with that hand. And I think this list is pretty solid. I would still recommend it. And I'm definitely going to continue tuning. I basically think that every time that I stream Legacy, it's going to be this deck. Like, I'm super into this deck, and I really want to turn this into a contender in Legacy. I feel like it's pretty good. But the fact that it's only me working on the deck obviously hurts its chances, right? So I have seen other versions that other people have tried, and I want to try some other stuff myself as well. For example, I would like to try out... what I'm going to be trying the next time I stream Legacy is going to be some Canonists in the sideboard as opposed to Deafening Silence. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be trying. I'm also going to be trying maybe I don't know if adding more libraries, but I feel like I would want to have some other way of fixing my draws a little bit. So I don't know if I would be cutting the land, maybe cut one of the basics or something like that. I don't know if I want to be doing something like that in order to make room for some other card advantage engine against a lot of matchups. I feel like I find myself in situations where I have like a bunch of top decks that just win me the game on the spot. I feel like I find myself in situations where I basically top deck one of my big payoffs, like Primetime, Zenith, etc., and I win on the spot. But it's only 5 cards that I'm looking for, right? Like 5 or 6 cards or something like that. So maybe upping the count a little bit. I don't know if maybe the 4th copy of Once Upon a Time could be interesting. I don't know if extra copies of Sylvan Library could work. I feel like there's different ways that we could take it. Maybe some extra tireless trackers. I don't think that extra tireless tracker is gonna do it. Eladamber Skull is another card that I want to try out. So there's a lot of things that we can do with this deck. There's also the alternative of trying to build a little bit more of a Mox Diamond version. I'm kind of not into the whole thing. Like Mox Diamond basically forces you to be playing at least 2 or 3 copies of Life from the Loam, and at that point you're super susceptible to Graveyard Hate, and you don't even get that much of a payoff. So the Mox Diamond route just seems like it's not particularly interesting. Like my goal is to get field ASAP, right? So if my goal is to get field as soon as possible, Mox Diamond actively hurts me because it puts me more mana ahead, but it actually puts me behind on line drops. Hey Andrea, how's it going? Yeah, it was really frustrating the fact that I had to mulligan to 1 to find, like, that was the first time that I saw a fairy in the multi 1, and that you just kept 7 and you also had like the Cabal Therapy, because we were getting there, right? Like we were hitting line drops, like we are 1 Reclaimer or Zenith away from kind of locking you out. Yeah, I imagine that you would keep a Cabal Therapy hand and you would wait until you can do everything in the same turn. Like I assume that you would do that. But like the fact that you had 2 Cabal Therapies and you kept 7, and we have 3 fairies with Once Upon a Time, and we have to move to 1 to find the first copy of the fairy, it was a little bit frustrating. But yeah, I assume that you kept the 1, you know. Only card I don't have is Tabernacle Library. Library is actually not that expensive in paper. I think it's like $20 maybe or something like that. This is very expensive in paper, but you don't need to play Tabernacle. Like, I like it, and I think this card is here to stay, unfortunately. But if I wanted to play this deck in paper, I don't think that Tabernacle would hurt my odds that much. It would definitely hurt in the Elves matchup specifically. I feel like this card is just incredible. I think that this card is just incredible in the Elves matchup specifically. So it's a matter of just what do we want to do to fix that matchup or stuff like that. Again, what I was talking about earlier, instead of playing Deafening Silence, playing Canonist, that would definitely help in the Elves matchup, for example. Like Silence doesn't do anything against Elves, but Canonist actually slows them down considerably. So definitely that's yet another point for Canonist over Deafening Silence. Jeff got 13 with a 2-1 sub. Thank you so much for coming back for 13 months now. A little bit over a year of Jeff got supporting the Primetime Stronghold, so thank you so much for that. But yeah, a little bit of a sad way to end the stream, but I think that it was cool. I really like this event. Like, if Mana Trader is gonna be doing events like this, maybe I won't play in standard ones, just, I don't know, maybe I might even play in standard ones. Like, actually standard is not the worst it's ever been right now. So maybe I would give it a try. But apparently December, the Mana Traders is gonna be modern, so that's pretty exciting. So definitely gonna be tuning my Amulet and Green White Reclaimer lists in preparation for that event for sure. But that's gonna be it for me today. The nice thing is that ended up with a nice $500 in my pocket, so that's very cool. That's very, very cool. The deck did deliver. The deck did indeed deliver. And even if it didn't work particularly well today specifically, we saw a lot of mulligans against the Snow deck that we lost to. We saw a lot of very bad mulligans. We also got like completely bodied by SharkStill, so not too much to consider there. And SharkStill seemed like a matchup that we probably cannot really fix. H. Denise, thank you so much. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Thank you for that subscription. Yeah. Pog indeed. F. Pog. Alright, everybody. thank you so much for watching the stream. If you're watching on YouTube, really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. And yeah, definitely expect to see a lot more modern content coming from now on, particularly with the next MetaTrader series being modern. So I will try to continue, like this deck kind of has me hooked on Legacy. So I will definitely stick to playing at least Legacy once every week. So you will still find some Legacy content, but it's going to be a lot less than what we've been having this month. But yeah, thank you so much for checking out the stream. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.